Hi, Kate.
All right. Hi, Marty.
I am recording. Are you recording?
I am recording. Glad we're
Yay!
recording. Oh, success that much.
We have had success right there.
Oh my god.
Podcast done.
Yeah. Cut the check. Cut
listener.
the tape.
Yeah. Cut the check.
Oh.
We don't get paid for this.
No, we don't.
So how you doing, Caters? What's happening?
Oh my god. I have been like nonstop going. Like, you know, I moved. I've been telling you about the move. So this is all for listener, but I moved in December. Austin and I bought a house. Woo! And now we live in it.
Yay!
There was like a good month between buying the house and moving into it that we still lived at the apartment, and it was during the Christmas and winter holidays, and then my busiest trade show of the year for my day job, and then my birthday, and then like it was just
I was gonna say, and your birthday as well.
Yeah, every year that I'm at this trade show, I'm missing my birthday.
Every year I have my birthday at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not the birthday that's surprising, it's the trade show.
No, the trade show, I know it's there every year. I'm like, I'm just going to miss it again this year. Although my coworkers do something nice usually, and like, we've gone out to karaoke after.
That's so cute. What do you sing at karaoke?
Whatever you think you might be able to know the lyrics to, because you look at all the choices and you go, do I know the lyrics to this song that I've listened to a million times before? And then the answer is no. And then you
realize you don't. Mm-mm.
Oh, the answer is like, you know, one line.
Or and then you are solid on one verse, but not the second verse. Okay, because like I can do super bass. I can do verse 1 and the chorus and the bridge. I got that. But the second verse falls apart on me so hard. And if you are going to take on like any rap song particularly,
you gotta
nail
not
it.
Just have
you
like
gotta
one
nail
verse.
it.
You have to do the whole dang thing.
Yeah. You know what? How about we all hum together?
Oh my god.
Okay, but what do you specifically sing at karaoke?
Me? Oh my god.
Yeah.
God, this was like 2 years ago, and you're gonna make me remember my song selections at the one time I've been to karaoke.
That's hilarious. I really want it to be like, Meredith Brooks. Is that who sings Bitch? I think that would be a stellar song for you to have.
Oh my god, I don't know that I could in front of my coworkers. I know.
Oh, that's such a good point. Mm-hmm.
That's a good point. We did Barbie Girl, and that was like, ooh,
this is awkward,
scandalous, you know, like our like the company's like fucking like everyone who's like important is like there, and it's like, this isn't really my birthday, as it was he wanted to go out for karaoke.
That's hilarious.
It was like, I'm a scapegoat here.
We all need an excuse to go karaokeing, and
Kate,
this one's for you.
It's like, oh no, my nightmare. Thank you.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Because that's why I was like, what do you sing at karaoke? Because I just see you being like, nah, I'll just not. Right? Like, Andrew does not sing at karaoke. And I kind of just have it in my head that you would also be like, I'll just sit here. Like, but
I did try.
For singing. Good for you. Good for you. Karaoke is very vulnerable.
It's hard, you know?
It's hard. Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I think the realization, like, when you're in front of other people, making eye contact with them, and, like, really trying hard to be able to, like, read the screen from wherever it is, and, like, not just stand there awkwardly.
I went one time, and, like, I couldn't figure out where to hold the microphone, because, like, if the microphone picked up my voice, it would, you know, the monitor would send it back to me, but then I couldn't hear where the music was actually at. And so it was like, this is incredibly discombobulating right now. Like, so I ended up just singing it without the microphone so no one could hear. Like, yeah, it's okay. Everything's fine. But Strawberry Wine is a choice of mine.
Strawberry Wine. Okay, who sings that?
Yeah. Deanna Carter. It's another 90s song.
All right.
It is It is spectacular, and it has one of the most awkward freaking lines that, like, guys, some subtlety would have behooved you. So it has this line,
Oh
the fields have grown over now, years since they've seen the plow.
oh my god.
It's like, wow, guys. Wow.
Oh, there's this
So,
my dad's a big prog rock kind of guy. He doesn't look like it, but
yeah.
I don't know. I imagine like the prog rock era be like really stuck in like the long 70s hair, like the very,
Yeah.
like the round little glasses and all that.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, so like there's this one
Yeah.
British band that he really liked that he would play the CDs for me all the time, like when we were in the car. So it's Jethro Tull, and there's this one album that I was like obsessed with at like as a teenager.
I had an obsessed with Jethro Tull when I was a teenager as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Man,
oh my god,
like,
so, you know, that
whistle a flute,
that
man.
album, Thick as a Brick.
Yes. It's so good.
Oh my god. And then, but so like, there was like one time in high school when like my English teacher was like, for an extra points assignment, oh, I'm bored. Like, if you sing a song up at the front of the room, I'll give you 5 extra credit points.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, like, I don't know how that flew, but like, and like, my dumb ass is like, I will sing the song that I know the words to, which is fucking prog rock song. Like
that's
the
hilarious.
2010s. And like,
oh my gosh.
It just is
a
like
merciless time.
Let me get this thing that's like utterly out off the radar of all these other kids. This will make them like me.
No.
Well,
I would have been
so
like,
dumb.
Man, this album rocks.
Well, and then
I would have been there right with you.
When you get to the line, your sperm's in the gutter, your love's in the sink, I'm like, actually?
Actually, can I not change my mind?
Actually, I'll stop right here. This is like the first 4 lines.
Oh my gosh,
like, I did not think far enough ahead. Okay.
Dude, yeah. Okay. Well, I'm so glad that when you go to this trade, they actually do something fun for your birthday.
Yeah.
But man, we shot right off topic.
Yeah, we did. Oh my god.
Not that we really just started with one.
Holding back.
We shot off
for
topic with
4
how
months.
are you doing?
Yeah, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. I've also been very busy. The kids are getting more and more active, which is really exciting. I'm getting more active with their school, which is also good. Real estate's doing its thing. And so all in all, I'm just really chasing my tail, kind of reevaluating how I structure time for writing and time for writing business. Right?
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I feel really good about this choice, right? Because I was talking to Andrew and you know what? It's called romance writers therapy. Let's do it.
Get guys. Right deep in it.
Okay, so I had a total emotional breakdown last week.
Okay.
Yeah. Where I'm crying to Andrew about I don't know, just kind of feeling I'm running in place in all of my endeavors where nothing is breaking loose. Even the PTSO at the kids' school, which is our version of the PTA, me and a couple other moms are putting in so much effort to make things happen. And we're just not getting as much support from other people, which I'm not complaining about. I don't have any judgment of anyone else choosing to be involved on the level they want to be involved on, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But we're all getting burnt. We're all getting burnt out. And we just need to figure out, and it's not even that people don't want to help. It's that we haven't figured out the best way to get the people who do want to help able to help in the way that they can help. Right? Does that make sense? Right? Doing a better job of asking for remote help and stuff like that, right? So literally every endeavor I have right now is just me just being a little workhorse, putting in the time for an eventual payoff. And it's been years of this. And I am like, man, I need to see some payoff somewhere. Like, I need something to break loose, right? And so, like, Andrew and I were talking, and, you know, we're kind of, like, breaking down, like, all the roles I play. And he's like, Bear, writing is for you. Like, how do you want to structure writing so that it serves you and what you want to do with it? And, like, I really liked that question. And it put all of my goals in a perspective that was like, you know what? This doesn't have to zoom. Like, I can take my time. I can make sure that I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing and producing the books exactly the way I want to produce them. I don't need to move as fast as the industry is saying I have to move. So it ended up being really productive, and it felt really healthy, and I feel really good about it. That was kind of like the breakdown of me just kind of shaping my brain around writing in a way that's geared more towards it still being creative more than business. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, no, totally.
That's what's been going on with me. Just doing a lot of work, trying really hard at everything, and just trying to have a lot of, like, grace and patience for myself.
It's hard, yeah. I'm
It's
sorry,
so
I wish I had, like,
hard.
something better than that. Like, that.
No, you're okay. But I have been writing, and what's really, really cool is, like, this week and last week when I was kind of, like, coming to this place, right? I can actually write. I'm actually excited about what the stuff I have, like, that I'm working on.
Yeah, because you've been telling me about, like, the fantasy idea that you've been, like, kind of toying around with. And, like, the way that you have approached this during, like, our, you know, big, like, hiatus, just the way that you approached it, like, oh, I don't want to get into it. Oh my God, I don't want to, like, dedicate the time to this. Like, I don't have time to focus on something that isn't my brand, isn't my, you know, like, what's gonna, like, get output from me, like, what I intend to publish and, like, what I intend to be part of my backlog. And, like, when you were telling me all this, I was like, okay, but, like, you had, like, we went back and forth over, like, all this fantasy world that you came up with. And I'm glad that you're, like, actually going to do something with it, because you were talking about, like, heists and stuff, and it just sounded fun.
It's such a fun story. Like, the more, and, like, at this point, like, I'm really just kind of playing with it in my head, and I'm working on the contemporary romance that I actually, like, you know, have plans for in the next, you know, couple months. And I guess that's not even true, because I do have about, like, 1,500 to 2,000 words written of the fantasy story. It's been really good to just let my brain play. Letting my brain play has unlocked everything, right? Like, it is just absolutely wild how much everything has just broken loose. And it's just because I'm letting myself actually do something fun.
Play is, like, one of those really weird things that it's like it's really hard to, like, force yourself to do it, you know? But like, when you finally get into a place where you can.
I wouldn't even say that it's so much, like, hard for me to force myself to play as much as it's hard for me to allow myself to play.
Yeah.
Right? Just being so, like, well, that's an interesting idea. Like, well, it doesn't fit at all, like, what I'm trying to market to, so I shouldn't even give it my brain energy.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, but, like, there's a reason why my brain was excited about it. If I'm allowing myself to move slower, then I have time to write the fun stuff I have in mind. And it has been so freaking cute, Kate. I was telling Andrew over the phone about my fantasy idea, and the kids were in the car. I realized, like, when we get parked and I'm, like, grabbing backpacks and stuff, and Jude has her backpack and she's just standing next to me, and she is just following me, like, in every room I go into. And I'm like, oh, she's listening. Like, she's listening to my story. And this was like,
my God,
I don't know, like,
that's adorable.
Oh my God. Oh, she's so cute. She's so cute. And so, like, I don't know, like 2 weeks ago, and every other day she's like, Mom, tell me your story again. And so then, like, we have these brainstorming sessions about, like, filling holes and, like, fixing plot stuff, fixing details. And, like, she has these really cool ideas that have, like, built the world in a really interesting way. And it has just been so fun to experience this with her, too.
Aww.
So
do you think
cute.
You would, like, I don't know what your full plans for the fantasy were. Do you feel like you would write something
it won't be
age appropriate
for her
with her? Oh, no. Okay.
Not right now. No. But I have always wanted to like write something that, and like she has asked, like, Mom, will you write something I can read? Like, yeah, I probably should. And that would be really fun to write like distinctly to her as an audience.
Yeah.
And like just hit all the like tropes and details that I know that she would be excited about. But yeah, it has been so fun and like such a unique experience. Because like as soon as I got done telling Andrew the whole story, Jude was like, Mom, say that again. Like it was so cute. And like it doesn't even have an ending yet. And she was just really excited about like the world that was coming through.
Yeah.
An absolutely delightful moment. What about you, Kate? What's happening with writing?
I am kind of trying to corner my ADHD into focusing on finishing my first werewolf book.
Okay. Yeah, you said that you moved things around like a ton.
I did. Okay. I do want to like interject a quick note for our listener, just that like our singular listener.
Hi, listener.
The person who stayed and waited for us after all this time, because it feels like it truly did take us forever. Also, I desperately need listener to know that Marty was saying to me in like the third week of January, been like, oh my God, I haven't worked on this project since last year. And like, no, you didn't say it that way. You phrased it, I haven't worked on this in a year. And it was like, are you talking to me about the thing you were telling me about in December?
What are we talking about? What did I say that about?
It was some project you had talked to me about in December. And then like we went and had our respective like holidays with our families. And then we started like we talked again in January, and then you were like, there is so much time has passed since I've been productive. And
dude, my brain is just never on my side. Like it's so funny like how you like will say things like you're so productive, and I'm like, all I ever think is how much I'm not getting done.
God, yeah.
And like my brain is just constantly telling me like, I mean, not getting it done is not getting it done. You go ahead and just keep on not getting it done.
Like, maybe what we got to do is we need to, because I've been sharing a lot of very similar feelings, maybe not like entirely on the same like beat, but yeah, I think there's been an overlap about like not being productive and grinding my teeth over, you know, similar concerns of I want to work on this other project that isn't necessarily the next thing that I think people like
are expecting.
People who've read all my books and want to see the next one in the series. And I'm like, oh, but I want to start a new series and like focus on that now. And I feel very guilty over not just continuing the Claws and Cubicle series right now.
Yeah.
And like I have been like having that internalized dilemma of brand versus what's going to drive my creative like and fill my creative well for me, you know, make this enjoyable work.
Okay, so if you don't guys, oh well, I mean, if TikTok's still a thing and available to us, whenever this airs, Golden Angel does a series called Just the Tip, and also she does like nighttime drunken rants, and I think this was a nighttime drunken rant. And she was saying how there are authors that talk about how they wrote in all of these different genres, and they played around in a bunch of different like areas, and then they like ended up where they wanted to be, and now they have found success, right? And they're like, so once I focused and I started writing where I want, like started writing in the same place, everything broke open for me, and I was like, I have all the success. And she's like, they miss out on the part where there was all that discovery to figure out exactly where they wanted to write and what they wanted to write.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Such a spectacular point. And I think that that's something that like I have not put value on in a way that I would like to now. I would like to make sure that like, I'm restructuring my goals and my plans so that like I don't anticipate myself writing significantly less than I normally do, but I do anticipate myself writing in areas that are different than I normally do, because that sounds like fun.
Yeah, and like I saw Tasha L. Harrison. Is there an L?
Oh, she's fit. Yeah, Tasha L. Harrison. Mm-hmm.
She had posted something on Threads that like cleared up, like, it was like a little epiphany reading it for me. Like, it was
Uh-huh.
that we have this idea that we have to like really keep to our brand. Writing in new directions is like still useful, and like I think we had chatted a bit about this afterwards, because I was so excited to like tell you, like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like
Well, it's really interesting because, like, I had a conversation with Lauren Connolly, and she writes contemporary romance, and then she writes contemporary, like, fantasy romance,
yeah.
shifter romance, and she writes under the same name.
Oh,
And
okay, yeah.
yeah, and like we were discussing a little bit about how like that has worked for her. The reality is like those two things are not so different, and also like her covers are very much branded to what the book is, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so I think it works in that scenario for her not to have two different names.
Yeah, like as long as you like really get it across, like this is what the genre it's firmly standing in is.
Yeah. Well, and like even like your historical, like people did choose to go read it just because they liked you, right? Like they like your voice.
Yeah, no, every now and
And
then like I get someone reading this book and I'm like, oh my god. Like, hi, you found my favorite thing.
Aw.
I don't know. It just makes me like a little bit like happy whenever I see it getting love. Like I know that it's not the main thing that people love.
Yeah. Well, but like it doesn't mean that you can't still go back into like a historical world and have fun there.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. And like, you know, I was actually talking with I made a new friend, surprisingly. Now I have two. No, I do have.
Yeah, you have more friends.
Supposedly.
Yeah, she has more friends.
I promise. So no, it was a reader who won a giveaway, so I was like messaging like, here's the giveaway code, and like then we started chatting, and then it was like, oh my god, and like our brains just kind of like synced up, and it was like, oh my god.
That's so cute.
And so we were talking, and then I was like, hey, can I ask you like a question in like a kind of group, like you've read my books, so like you are in a position to like have an opinion on this, and I don't, and like I feel comfortable asking, like, do you feel like I could write other things, and like would you feel like that's still worth reading, or like it like wasn't quite phrased like that, but like the stuff we've been talking about. And then they were like started naming a bunch of authors who also did like a number of genres, and I'm like, oh, it kind of like clicked in my head, like of course I wouldn't be the first person to do this. So like obviously other people are doing this and doing it well. Yeah. Like there's nothing to worry about. Like you can really push yourself into that corner, you know?
You totally can. And I think again, it really comes down to like, what do you want from this?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
If the thing is like, if you want a career that your readers always know exactly what to pick up, what they're going to get when they pick up from you, like, then this is not great advice for you. But like you want to have a very clear like direction you're going in. But like if you're like me and you're like, I want this to be more for me than anyone else, and you've like come to that place. Also, like my tune has changed over the past couple years too. My tune has changed over the past couple months, right? Like I think if people listen to the last couple episodes of our season before this one, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, who is Marty? Right?
This is like, a 180.
It's a 180, but like the reality is like this is what I need to do right now for my own brain, for my own like stress and joy, and I'm gonna do that. And if my opinion changes again, that's okay too, because I'm human and I can be fluid. It's awesome, right? Like
absolutely, I love that.
I don't think we have to pigeonhole ourselves so much,
of course.
And and then I think again it just comes down to like exactly what you want. I'll never like be upset with someone making choices to create the books and the business that they want.
Yeah.
But like at the same rate, like
I think
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
There's this like innate, because like so this is I'm gonna detour again.
Okay, cool.
So like I have like been like a little artist ever since like I was like in kindergarten, you know? Like I've been
Uh-huh.
determined to draw, and the longer you do it, the better you get at it. I'm not saying I'm a
Mhm.
fantastic artist. Like there's people who I think can do like a whole bunch better. But like every now and then I'm like I made a winner. You know, like I do some good shit.
Yeah,
You know,
I love that.
like that's where I
Yeah.
would assess my own talents. Like there's definitely things I'm capable of and plenty that I am not.
Uh-huh.
But I
I
am
understand
happy
that.
with what I can achieve, you know? And maybe that's
Yeah.
kind of becoming complacent in my illustrative area, but like, you know, it's fine. We don't need to grow in every area all the time.
Yes, and I was gonna say, like, that might just be where you're at right now. There was a time for years I didn't write at all, right? Like, from,
Yeah.
like 18 to 23, I didn't write.
Yeah. Like you can start and stop, and you don't
Absolutely.
need to always be.
You can be defined by a lot of different things.
Well, so and my thought is that like when you do art and when you're the art kid in like elementary school, I feel
Uh-huh.
like you get a lot of people being like, "Oh my god, you're talented." Ah,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because like
Uh-huh.
no, like not a lot of people draw. Like I mean, like no, everyone
Well,
draws, but like
I think that also, like, not everyone is able to communicate their thoughts into their hand. Does that make
yeah, but
sense?
like so my thought is like talent isn't a thing that exists. It's kind of positive reinforcement. Then you continue the
Uh-huh.
thing that got you the reinforcement. So then you just kind of continue, like it is the positive reinforcement cycle. And I think that we can get stuck in it as adults because the thing that we got a lot of praise for, maybe it's not the thing we want to be doing right now, but it's the thing that, you know, you are getting your positive reinforcement from. So if you
Uh-huh.
stop doing it, you feel like,
There's no noise sort of thing. Like, there's no positivity coming in.
yeah, there's
Yeah.
I'm just like, this is why I think this is hard to do.
It's really interesting because, like, I have a friend who, I've showed you her work, and she's a really incredible portrait sketcher, right? And, like, she does
Mm,
lots of things, but, like, notably, like, when I see her work for herself, a lot of times it tends to be portraits.
okay. Yeah.
And
You've told me
so
about
we
her.
talk a lot about, like, being that kid that does art.
Mm.
And, like, she always hated when people would tell her, like, "Oh my gosh, you're so talented." And she hated it because, like, in her brain, she was like, "No, I'm really good at this because I've worked so hard to be really good at this." And so, like, it was something that, like, she didn't realize, like, there was effort plus talent in her situation. Does that make sense? Like, when she was younger, people would say that, like, "Oh my gosh, you're so talented." And she'd be like, "No, I have just kept on working," right? Like, anyone could do this, not realizing, like, no, not everyone can do this. And
I
anyway, I don't
mean,
know what
no,
my point was there,
I
but, like,
gotta
it's
be on
interesting.
team. There's no such thing as talent with her.
Really?
Yeah, that's where I've been for a while. I've been on that side of
Really?
the
I
street.
fully disagree. I fully disagree. I think that, okay, so, like, even just, like, writing, like, talking about writing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think most people could be taught how to structure sentences, how to even put together a plot, but it's not guaranteed there's gonna be any life to it, right? And I'm not saying that, like, talent is the end all be all, but I am saying that I think that you have a natural leg up when you are just have an aptitude toward it. Does that make sense?
Yes. But to me, the aptitude towards it is often like just a positive reinforcement environment or an environment that is supportive, you know?
But, like, there's so many people that do it because they like it regardless of what the, like, nature is around them, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of people who don't have support and they still do this because they appreciate what they do, right?
But like, how good could they be if they had support?
I mean, so true. So true. It's so much easier to swim with the stream, right? But, like, I do think that, like, I have always been able to communicate story in a way that people respond to. And it's not a guarantee that everyone has always been able to do that. And,
Yeah.
like, yes, I've gotten so much better through doing it and reading and learning more. It's not something that I think just anyone could step up. Like, with the same amount of work I've put into it, I can't guarantee everyone would be in the same place I am.
No.
The more I talk about this, the more arrogant it feels. But like, I do think that there's I do think that there is a level of like natural aptitude towards all sorts of things. It's like saying that like, oh, anyone can just learn math. Like, yeah, but not everyone's a fucking engineer, right? Like some people's minds are set better to have a talent in that area.
I think we're just gonna like reinvent Calvinism here. Like,
what do you mean?
It's the nature versus nurture
oh, okay, gotcha.
argument. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
people have predisposed amounts of whatever in them, you know? Even though Calvinism kind of focuses on like innate goodness, I think. I could be so off.
I think so
it's been forever.
I could be wrong. Well, I didn't know what Calvinism was.
I could be wrong.
Which makes this a perfect podcast. So do your own research. I mean, don't trust us, but like this is my thought. Like,
God, see, I feel like I was on a monster romance panel on Thursday. Like that's why I couldn't record that night. Like, so we had all these questions, and then every so often I would be like, "Am I going down a rabbit hole that is inaccessible?"
What do you mean?
To other people, because it just sounds insane. Like every time I would like answer a question, I would be like, "So like the greater scheme of narrative across all humanity." Like, no. We don't need to start our answers like this. And yes, like I just kept every time like I opened my mouth, I was like, I have thoughts to get out, and I realized I have like 30 seconds to say them, and I realize I'm trying so hard not to run away with things. Like here's me and my little pretentious ass.
That would be really hard. 30 seconds is nothing. Like how to put a full thought together in 30 seconds.
Like we're not being actually timed, but it is like
try to be reasonable about time.
Yeah, not just sit there and stare into blank space. It's kind of like, all right, just tell me what comes to the top of your head.
I don't know. I always find you smart when you talk. So.
I'm so happy. I feel like I come off as a raving lunatic. Like that's that's my vibes when the way I see myself.
That's my vibe. I think you're really smart. I always enjoy talking to you. How did the panel go otherwise?
Oh, it was fun. I'm glad I got to meet Ashley Bennett and Colette Rhodes. I was reading both of their books before the panel, and so I got to tell them that I love their books, like, because I was having a good time. Oh my god. So like I'm in the middle of Colette's book right now because I didn't finish it in time, but I am just so over the moon with like the way that she has this like very classic fairy tale kind of, you're married to this shadow prince and like, you know, there are all these monsters and like it's dangerous for you, human, and then she's just like, I'm so horny for this guy, like I just want to be monster fucked already, and he's just like, I can't sleep with my wife, and she's just like, please. So fucking, like I'm listening to like the voice I'm kind of like tacking into it myself, like Daria kind of level vibes of like unimpressed with the situation, because like that's the vibes I feel.
So funny
in the voice.
That's so funny.
I'm so in love.
That is so cute. You'll have to send me the book.
Yeah, I will. I think it's called Luxuria.
No, Cater.
I think that's an episode. I think we rambled with very little explanation about where we've been. It's been a few months. We're getting back into the swing of things. We're sorry we took so long to come back. Life got in the way, as it do.
Life has been lifing.
Life been lifing, and
life been lifing.
We were gonna talk about the feeling of not writing enough lately. Mm-hmm. But then we kind of went into like, what if we change directions in our brand?
Yeah, and like kind of like created like a conversation around like acceptance.
Yeah,
like,
no, and I'm glad.
Acceptance.
I feel like this feels like metagaming, but I think this was a good episode.
I think so too. Yeah, like when I think about how many words I've written, excluding newsletters, this year, it's only like, I want to say like probably like 8,000 words or something. Like it's just not a lot. This whole year since like Thanksgiving, right? Like just not a lot. But like, I'm excited to be writing again. And that is something that like, man, that's kind of invaluable because I have not been feeling excited about it. And I'm really excited to, I'm like excited about freaking everything. I'm excited to get my book out. I'm excited to show people the cover.
Oh my god, I love the cover.
I love the cover. I'm so excited, Kate.
This is one of my favorites in a while.
Yeah, no, I cannot wait to show everybody this cover. I think it is just freaking spectacular. I think you did a great job. They're so freaking cute. Every time I look at them, I just like, well, I'm not a squealy person, okay? And I just like want to kick my feet and squeal. Like, I think they're so cute.
Oh my god. Yeah, and like the thing is, this project, like, I could feel you being like, you're just gonna do what you want with this project. And I'm like, all vibes.
But like, you asked, like, hey, do you have anything in mind, or you just want me to do whatever? I'm like, yeah, just do whatever, which is my normal vibe. Because the one time I had an opinion, I was like, this was not the right idea at all. So
no, I think sometimes it's just the roll of the dice.
Well, but like also like there's a reason why I don't make my own covers, and it's because my brain doesn't put together the story in a picture well, right? But yours does, so I should just let you do what you do. You know what I mean? And so yeah, you doing this cover and like just doing what you wanted to do just continue to like get better and better. I'm so excited. God, they're cute. Listener, I can't wait to show you the cover. Yeah. So like have to finish doing the pre-order and have to finish figuring out exactly like, my schedule. Oh my gosh. Stupid summaries. Get out of here.
It's so long. Like it doesn't look that long when you send it to me, and then on the book it's like, this is too much.
It's way too much. And
oh my god.
It's 150 words.
Which is nothing.
Nothing.
Like, reader, listener, that's nothing.
It's nothing.
You've read paragraphs longer than 30 words. I mean, no, dude, 150 serious. Words.
150. Yeah, you've definitely read paragraphs longer than 30 words.
My book blurb is 30 words. I don't care.
Is yours? Is it really?
No, just like 30 words is even more nothing. That's 2 sentences.
Oh my gosh. I don't know how to... I'm going to have to figure out how to cut it down further. I don't know
It's hard. And at the same time, it's like, make it pop more, make it sexier, make it flashier and more enticing. But also throw everything out.
Yeah, exactly. Put all the stuff in, but only like 4 words. Okay? Readers don't like actually reading. So...
I think, like, bare bones of... I do really
the reasons
love what
they
we
fuck
put on the cover. No, the reason they fucked. No, we were like joking about the tagline for a minute, and I sent you a cover with it.
Oh my gosh,
they fuck around, and then,
yeah,
the title's literally, and they find out. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm getting too much of a kick out of this. This is too cute.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute.
Like I can't believe you were like,
said
yeah,
that, I was like, that's
it.
a perfect tag. Yep, do it. Take their clothes off too while you're at it.
Oh my god, we put these details in where we were like, all right, her dress is gonna be a little unzippered in the back, and like his jeans are gonna be popped.
Oh my god.
And then we were like, actually, that's too explicit. Zip his jeans back up.
Yeah. Well, and like I was like showing Mom, and I was like, I think that's too explicit. She's like, yeah. Yeah, I was showing Mom.
My god.
She's like, could his hand be in his pocket?
No, because like he was doing like I deliberately chose a reference where like he was like sticking his thumb in the waistband and kind of like tugging it down a little. Like that was already gonna be like sexy. And then it was like, oh no, with the jeans open, it's just too much.
It's lurid.
Oh my god.
So we found a happy medium, and I can't wait for you to see it, listener. It's so cute. So yeah, I mean, cool, exciting things are coming. Keep on doing the things, and I'm going to do them at the pace that feels healthy.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? You asked me at the beginning of the podcast what I was going to do, what I was working on, and I'm trying to write finish the first Werewolf Brother book, the Tearing It Up.
That's right, we never even finished that conversation.
Literally where I left it in like December, I want to say, was that I was getting to such a frustrated point with it. And like, this is when I was packing and like really nervous about like the buying the house thing. Like, so there were other bad feelings, just like no good. Yeah. My TMJ was off the walls. Like,
yeah.
And I started like cutting whole chapters and then just dropping them like in between other chapters that they didn't belong in.
Well, it was like, bad. Kate, you're telling me you're doing this, and I kept on, hey, Kate, maybe don't. Hey, Kate, maybe stop and just stop. Hey, Kate, how about a pause?
And then I came back to it in,
pause?
like, February, I want to say, and I was
Yeah.
like, God, what did I do? And, like, we've talked so much about, like, method and, like, watching the way you do a book, and I'm like, maybe I need to take this particular technique out of the way that I
because it's only
books.
creating a lot of stress. Yeah.
Like, maybe he's just not allowed to do that. And you hear my cat? Have you been able to hear her the whole time?
Yeah, I can hear her, but, like, that's fine.
Oh, no. No, because it's going to be in the recording then. Sounds like I'm torturing my cat. She's just sitting next to me meowing me.
When we post this one, you should put, like, a new logo that has Lydia on it. So everyone
just
knows,
Lydia
like,
on
this
the
is
couch.
the adorable face. This is the adorable face connected to the cute little sounds you're hearing.
I promise she's in perfect health and she's not being tortured at all. She's just extremely vocal.
These are just the sounds she makes.
Yeah. God,
so do you have a plan for putting your book back together?
Oh, I have 2 people who I want to beta read it. I have not gotten to the point where they are going to yet. I'm thinking, because I have booked with Heather, Mrs. Spellbound Edits.
Yes.
For May. And at first I thought that I would be done by now, but, like, I don't know who came up with that plan.
I know. I had to reschedule with her too because I was planning on April, and then I was just
might just do a developmental edit instead of, like, a regular edit. Like my thought was like clean it up, all the grammar, all the terrible
and then do a
things that
or something.
Yeah, like a nice. Yeah, like a polish it kind of clean instead of okay, we're gonna dump everything out and put it back in kind of clean.
Yeah. I like that idea though, like just changing like what you have booked with her. I know I had to push mine out to like September or something and like the thing is I feel really good about this choice because like it's the Christmas novella. And
okay, so it'll be done in time for Christmas, and then you can put it out, and then
for sure, yes, and it just has to be like completely cleaned up by October 1st. So like life is great, right?
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying working on it again. So I'm like not. There was a little while there. I was like, can I even have it done by September? Like sort of thing.
Aww.
But I've had so much fun writing on it this week that I'm like, I feel good about it. It's gonna be okay. But yeah, so I'll be sharing that with her and. I just have to kind of have like some people lined up to beta read it when I get it done so I can feel good about giving it to her, you know? And then, I'm so excited. Like now my brain is like, okay, and then you're going to do this and then you're going to do that. Like, so but I'm excited. Things are good. I'm like, and that's the other, okay, listener, I'm really sorry. I'm never going to let you go. You're going to stay with me forever. That's the other thing is like starting this year with like having Hazel and Elijah ready to like be released and having Remy and Alicia like in a really good place to be finished in a couple months. Like all of this feels really good, you know, as opposed to feeling like I'm just really like pushing myself to accomplish things that are just really going to mentally drain me and burn me out.
Yeah, like, just for the sake of putting it out there.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I love Remy and Alicia. I want to take my time with them. I want to make them like everything I want them to be. You know?
Yeah, it's really easy to give into that like hurry up and do everything as fast as you can. But like you gotta celebrate like the small successes and like really appreciate them.
Well, and then like I think that everyone tries really hard to be like, you know, you don't have to do a book a month to be successful. You know, you can write at your own pace and like stuff like that. But meanwhile, like all we see is the people that have 70 to 80 books out, like talking about the success that they have and what they do to be successful. And it's like, I'm happy for them, but like, it's not something I'm going to have tomorrow. Right? Like, I'm not just going to wake up tomorrow and have 80 books out and everything's going to be that way. Like, it's all going to take time. And I would rather make sure I'm able to put energy and mental health into, like, the things that I have going on in my life also. Right? Like, just, you know, just had some things like this year that, like, have really like brought in perspective like how I'm treating like my own approach to life, right?
Yeah.
So I feel good about it. I'm so happy. It's a relief.
I'm glad, you know?
Yeah. Kate, do you want to tell them a piece of writing advice? We're back to this.
God. Could have just left that in the last season. Oh my god.
So my piece of writing advice isn't actually writing advice.
Okay.
It's stand up and like walk in place or walk around for 5 minutes every 30 minutes because it's really good for your circulation. And that's it.
Ooh. That's
It's
really
incredibly
good for life kind of thing.
It is. Like it helps with so many like health issues because we sit so much in our lives now. Also, I read this book that was like all about how our lives have changed over like the course of like humanity. And do you know chairs didn't exist for the longest time?
Yeah. No,
That's the weirdest thing. Weirdest thing. Anyway,
I have
what's your piece
a
of
killer squat, just so you know.
A killer squat?
I do have a killer squat.
That's
I don't look like someone who would have it, but like I can do that real good. Because like when you have to clean things that are on the floor. Oh my god. This isn't the episode. We don't have time where I tell you about every goddamn thing that was wrong with my house when we moved in. Oh, it's been such an ordeal, listener. I forgot. I did not even mention it, like why it's taking us so long to come back to the pod. And literally half of it is like, oh, because nothing in my house worked and everything was falling apart.
Dude, no me gusta.
Like, it was bad. And like I was bitching about it constantly. It was unpleasant. But yeah, no, so writing advice. You know when you write and you kind of look at the way the decisions you're making in the narrative? And you kind of realize I'm conflict avoidant.
Ooh,
and that's why
interesting.
I'm not writing enough conflict. And so I can find conflict really hard to build up to. You know? Like, I feel like I used to be better at it, and now I'm kind of...
sitting in a more cozy spot.
Yeah, like, I used to be a much more, like, argumentative, like, person, obviously. And I just had the energy for that kind of shit. Yeah. And then like at some point I could just feel my brain literally flip a switch and go like, no, you're not that person anymore. Stop picking fights.
That's so interesting.
And like it was just I'm tired of picking. Like I'm so fucking tired. And I don't have it in me.
I feel like the pandemic really put into perspective like how much I want to argue with people. I decided a lot of people I'm just not going to continue communicating with. And then, like, I also, like, decided, like, if they're not going to receive this information, I'm not going to waste my breath. I mean, I don't hate that choice for me, right? Like, there are other people that will continue to argue. I don't want to put my energy there. So I get that.
Well, so...
But okay.
Now I have the reverse problem where I struggle to build up to conflict. And what I've been doing in my little notes app is just kind of writing the emotional crux of the argument. Like staging it out and kind of outlining, like he says something about so and such, and then she says something about so and such. And I don't know that this is gonna like actually work, but I'm hoping it does.
Also, you're identifying that this is something that you want to strengthen, and that alone is like good news, right?
Well, because it feels like it conflicts directly with my need to write a big, pretentious, academically satisfying kind of narrative, you know? And I feel like I don't identify with the joy of like putting all that stuff in all the time, but I feel like I have to. And so when we talk about things like cozy fantasy, you know, get really hung up on what's going to make a book that feels like it has enough stakes that like it's still worth reading to me, but like not so low stake that I would hate it for not having enough tension, you know?
That's really interesting to me because like one of the things I haven't been enjoying about writing the novella was like I wrote like their like prequel essentially, and then now I've started working on their actual story and getting into like the actual like meat of the like story's problems has like given me like life. Like I had to create a lot of angst in their prequel to like get me to continue writing on it. It's just interesting. It's interesting how our brains like respond to those things differently.
Yeah.
Kate, do you want to tell them where they can find you?
Do you want to give them a piece of writing advice?
I already did. Stand up.
You did? Okay.
You can't fool me.
All right. We'll pretend there was advice in there.
Stand up.
No, I love it.
No.
She says I'm conflict avoidant. 2 seconds later. Fucking put him up, Marty.
Put him up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where can they find us? My website is kate-pryor.com. I have a newsletter that I'm trying to get out on a monthly basis now.
Woo-hoo.
Soon. Not now. Soon. In hopefully the next month or so. I keep saying this to myself. So like we'll see how long it actually takes to happen. Fingers crossed for a month. I'm going to put out a free story that used to be in an anthology, but the anthology's time, because it was a charity anthology, is over, so it's unpublished now. So this is just a free little story that I'm gonna, if you subscribe, you will receive it, and eventually new people who subscribe will just automatically get it when they do.
Yay! Yeah.
And if you want to see the monster romance panel I was on, it is at the Ashland Public Library's YouTube channel. And that's it.
Awesome. I am at martyv.com. You can sign up for my newsletter there. And you can get Hazel and Elijah's prequel when you subscribe to my newsletter. And they are steamy folks. Let me tell you, these two are hotties.
Yes.
I love them.
They are so cute.
They're so cute. And then you can follow me on Instagram and currently TikTok. Not that I do much there anyway. But at martyvauthor.com. Nope, at martyvauthor. And yeah, that's it. Bye, listener.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.